Hey, it's Ubu, and today we're going to be going over the most recent Silent Hill transmission that just came out May 30th, and we're going to be discussing and going over the new trailer for the Silent Hill 2 remake, and I'm going to be discussing and sharing my thoughts on the recent trailer because it revealed a lot more gameplay and a lot more story and everything that we can now go over, and it's about a 13-minute long trailer, I believe, and I'm not going over the one from the Sony State of Play. I'm just going off of the transmission today. And I thought it'd be a lot of fun just to talk about my likes and dislikes and even my um, overall opinion on the Silent Hill 2 remake might have changed as of recent with the recent reveal. And we'll go over the trailer. I have it recorded here that we'll go through here and there, and I'll talk about what I like and what I dislike. And overall, this video isn't just to try to convince anyone that their opinion on the game is wrong, or I'm not here to argue with anybody or make a big fuss about anything. I'm just here to share my opinions and just my own personal perspective, which I also encourage you to do the same in the comments as you watch my video and at the end of the video. Yeah, let me know what all your thoughts are and your perspectives are. I did this before with the recent, the previous combat trailer for Silent Hill 2 Remake, and yeah, I had a lot of fun reading everyone's comments. I had a whole lot of comments and almost 4,000 views on that video alone, so it was really awesome just to see everybody interacting with me and trying to just have a discussion with me and share their thoughts. And yeah, I encourage everyone to do that for this video as well. But like I said, this isn't to argue or make a big fuss about anything or anything like that. I'm trying to be open-minded as best I can, and these are just my personal opinions as we'll go through this. So basically, we'll go ahead and start the trailer here. As it goes, I'll pause throughout and talk about what I like and don't like. So, you know, you have the opening scene here, which is pretty cool. You know, him leaning over the railing in the intro. You know, gives us some shots of the town and everything as this goes through this text scroll here. Yeah, this looks pretty cool. My first impressions of this was they're really trying to sell a tone here. And
What could she mean?
anyways, as I go through this,
This whole town was our special
we see some shots of James here. Sorry, I'm not. Oh, we're gonna get through this. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, so it shows some shots of the town, and then we'll get to see James a couple times here, and overall, I think the presentation of this trailer wasn't all that bad. You know, he's quoting the game. You know, here's James here, and this is recorded from the live stream of the transmission, so the quality isn't as best as it could be, so bear with me. But yeah, this looks pretty good. I think this looks totally fine for James. I don't really have an issue with this. Yeah, I think he looks fine.
What could she mean?
So, my thing with the trailer was I was really hoping to see more of the town and everything that we got to see, so I think they did a pretty good job with that.
Our special place.
And we'll get through it all here. See, this is Maria laying in the hospital, and her outfit is different. And while I think her character model looks pretty good, she's a very attractive character, as she's sort of meant to be in the game, compared to James' wife, who's a lot more moderate in the way she dresses and, you know, has her appearance. But Maria, obviously, from the original game, is very promiscuous looking, very attractive and sexy, kind of with her Christina Aguilera outfit on. But in this remake, for some reason, they decided to dress Maria almost more modestly, where she has like a red leather kind of coat on and like just like a black dress underneath it. Very odd creative decision there. I don't really understand why they would do that. I'll get more into that as we go throughout the trailer and everything. So that's a pretty cool scene there.
You promised you'd take
There's, you know, James on the rowboat
me
going to the
there again
hotel.
someday. But you never did.
And the woman voicing Mary and Maria, I think did a really good job. I think that's really good. The voice acting so far in the trailer that I've seen and heard and everything, I thought was pretty solid. So we'll just let, you know, kind of let this play.
Said Mary. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. Is she really alive?
Yeah, obviously I believe this gameplay is obviously sort of doctored in a way for a presentation like this. Obviously, this isn't where the game starts, but so far on first impressions, like I said, when I was watching this, I thought this looked pretty good. Like, if this is what it looks like in the game with the fog and its density, I think it's a very solid attempt
Is this?
in replicating that sort of tone. And it's hard to replicate the original game 100%, because the original game is just sort of lightning out of a bottle, and also a product of its time. It's 24 years old.
Hey, wait.
So this environment that we're seeing here is a lot more, it looks a lot more lived in. We're at a third-person perspective, so we're getting to see a little bit more of James' perspective in a way, this by, you know, going through the way they did it this time. And I thought this looked pretty cool. This part reminds me, there's that place with, like, the, and I could be mixing it up. I don't know if it's the first game where there's, like, all the garage doors. But this part is definitely not in the second game, where you crawl through the hole. But, like, just in terms of environmental detail, like, you know, this looks pretty decent. Overall, I think what it showed outside... Let's actually go back outside for a second. Like, I think this is pretty cool. I don't know, really, if I have anything to complain about with in terms of the town's presentation. I wonder how much of it is open, like it was in the original game. I don't know if the approach to the game this time around is a lot more linear. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, yeah, I haven't seen a lot of people complain about the town itself, and I'll get into some of the complaints that I saw the most of as we get through this trailer. I don't usually do these kind of videos, so I am still kind of refining my approach to these videos. But, yeah. So, this garage door thing is really odd. Like, this isn't in the original game. So I think with it being a remake, they're definitely taking creative liberty with creating, like, set pieces that I guess you would experience throughout the game, which I think is totally okay. I don't see the reason why we need to be crawling into this, just in terms of a story perspective. Maybe we're just looking for something, or maybe there's some more of a, you know, like we can find collectibles, or maybe secrets, or secret areas, or something. I think that would be kind of cool, actually. Gives a little bit more to do in the town, to, you know, while you explore it. You can come across maybe strange things that you can inspect and check out, maybe. It's just a theory, I don't know. You know, so he crawls in this dark, this really dark garage. Yeah, and here's some kind of monster. So yeah, but what I like about the environment is that while it has a lot of detail, it doesn't look cluttered like some games can, like noisy visually. So this is where we find the radio, which is in a completely different area now. It's in a house of some kind. There's a lying figure. And he just decides, I'm gonna pull a piece of wood off a window and attack this thing. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna point some things out here. So this is the actual gameplay. Little sidestep there. Very aggressive grunting. Now I wanted to go over that a little bit. So, I think it's interesting that they decided to, like I said, take the liberty to make the radio have a new location where you find it. Before in the original game, you come across it like under in some kind of tunnel that's like outside on the outskirts of town. It's kind of in a weird place. You're just kind of running around and you come across it, and then basically the same thing happens where a lying figure stands up and you're like, what the hell is that? Oh, or whatever. But yeah, this approach was interesting. I don't think it's that big a deal to change things like that, personally. because you know they're not just like copying pasting the original game, obviously, but at the same time, that's the thing that happens with remakes, generally speaking, is in a new engine and a new perspective that the character has, they have to create more of a linear, I don't know if linear is the right word, but a more understanding transition between spaces, like him getting to the town and eventually, for some reason, making his way into this house makes sense rather than like in the original game, you come into town and then you go back out of town or something like that to find the radio. It's just really, I think it's totally okay that they did this. Now, in terms of the combat, I mean, the way he swings the weapon, I think, is okay. And one thing I did notice is this part with the lying figure kind of approaching him and spitting on him. In the combat trailer, it showed a quick time event prompt, like on like mash X. The enemy is attacking you. Press X, which I didn't like at all. But in this situation, it doesn't show that, and I'm wondering if the button prompt just isn't there and it's still like a button mash thing like the original game. I think that would be a really good choice. Now, the lying figures, like, I don't think do this to you in the original game. They don't, like, lock you into an animation. But there are enemies that do grab you and you can, like, press buttons or whatever. I much prefer the approach that I don't have a button on my screen telling me to press a button. So I actually like this, and maybe it's just an option. You can turn it off or on in the menus, the options of the game. Maybe that's their approach, but I much prefer it not having a prompt on screen. I think that's a much better way to do it. So, you know, kudos for that. You know, and the lying figure is making like a lot of noise and stuff, which I think all the sounds, you know, sound pretty good. But yeah, he starts to melee swing here, which looks pretty good. The lying figure actually does move in different ways as you attack it, which I think is a good thing. You know, it does some more spit here, and then James does a sidestep, like a, not a dodge. I guess you could call it a dodge, but it's not like a combat roll or anything like that. But I don't know if I have a problem with the dodge. I know a lot of people have speculated us way back when they were talking about this, that, oh, he has a, you could see people like working on the game in like an office, and you can see someone's computer monitor and they show them doing like a sidestep, and they're like, oh my god, it's like the worst thing in the world. It's not a combat game or whatever, which I agree with, but I don't know if a little sidestep is all that big a deal. In the grand scheme of things, if you're just some guy in the middle of a spooky-ass town with monsters attacking you, you kind of jumping out of the way of something makes sense. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to make too many excuses for this game, but at the same time, I'm just trying to approach it with just some sort of grounded perspective, and also understanding that it is a remake from Blooper Team, so it's not the same game. So and we'll go more over that as we go throughout the video. I don't want to ramble too much. So a little combat step there. And then he goes and starts beating the crap out of this thing some more, which I think looks fine. I think the animation of him swinging down on them on the ground looks kind of wonky, but that was a pretty cool sequence. I thought it was pretty cool. So he explores the town a little bit more here, which I think looks good. It's almost maybe a little too bright, but I like the fog. Yeah, as we can see here, he can physically pick up items, which I actually like that. Now, this is one thing I don't like. Okay, I'll show you in a second. Things like this on the bottom of the screen that say zoom, rotate, and health drink. I don't like the text. On the left here, health drink and syringe popping up on the left. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think it's a necessary UI element, in my opinion. Like, I don't know if there's necessarily a menu in this game, like in traditional Silent Hill games, where you kind of cycle through items. And then there's a white circle, kind of like the button prompts for something to interact with. That's okay, but I don't like the additional text on screen. Collected, matchbook. Now, you can see there, he picked his map out and actually marked his map physically. You can see him do it. And this is cool too. I actually didn't read that the first time. Sorry, I know this is a little jumpy here and there. I don't know what's going on. So it says, if you're reading this, leave. This place is not what it seems. There is another side to it, hidden behind a rest, thinnest paper. Sometimes you just hear to look behind. I don't think that makes any sense personally, but maybe it's meant to be that way. I do like that he picks up items like that. I think that's really cool personally. You can like pick it up and look at it like a real object in the game. And we got Laura here, sitting up on the wall.
What you got there?
None of your business. You didn't love Mary anyway.
What? Hey, wait!
Laura's mean, of course. I think James here looks good.
How do you know her name?
He's scruff looking, kind of dirty looking now. Maybe. Okay, this is weird. It kind of just jumps us in over to the hospital where James is with Maria, so they don't even like show us meet Maria. Okay, here we go.
I don't know.
Let's look at this real quick, because this is a big thing of contention for people that are like, what the hell? We'll just look at it real quick. We're gonna look at Maria's outfit. Okay, so I think her character model looks great, but this is what I was talking about earlier. Very strange, and this is just my opinion. I've tried to approach Silent Hill 2 Remake with the idea that I just my perspective is I don't expect one-for-one remakes anymore. I just don't do it. When you take a game that's made by Japanese developers from 24 years ago, completely different time, completely different tone, expertise, equipment, hardware, and inspirations, and ideas, and creativity, everything those people did on Team Silent is super unique, like completely unique to a modern developer team like Bloober Team. However, these are changes that I don't get. And it's to me, I'm just saying it's not the end of the world. I'm not like having a conniption fit about it. Oh, sorry. But at the same time, I don't think it would have been difficult or an issue to just leave her outfit the way it was. Maybe they've added some weird reason why. Maybe when you meet her, she's dressed in her more, traditional garb that she had in the original game, and then maybe as you move through the game, she changes or something to be like, okay, we're going. I don't know. It's kind of generic. It's just like a black dress with a red leather. I don't know. It doesn't really have a lot of character to it. Like her dress that way was, I think, a very specifically designed thing. So for them to make her sort of generic looking and the way she's dressed, I just find it just to be unnecessary of a change. That's just my perspective on it. Like, I'm not going to have a cow over it, but at the same time, I'm just trying to wonder why. I just don't get why. She does have the choker on, which I guess is cool, but, a little bit of jewelry on, a little bracelet and some rings, high boots. But yeah, I don't know. That's just something. I don't necessarily disagree with people who are like freaking out about it, but I think it might not be like the biggest thing in the world. To me, it just doesn't make sense. Anyways, I don't really know how to talk about that. It seems completely unnecessary is all I'm saying, which makes it an issue, which I understand.
Where'd she go?
I don't know. Let's look around.
She seems a lot more normal, too, which is weird. I like the map here. This is cool. I like how he's holding the map, looking at the map, folds it up. That's really cool. I don't like the text on the screen. I just don't like that. Collected Brookhaven Hospital map.
This place feels so
I'm not a fan of that.
empty. More than the other places we've been.
And I am going to be talking over a lot of the dialogue and stuff in this trailer, so just you can go back and watch the trailer by yourself. This looks cool. I like this room. It looks messy and abandoned. I think everything in here looks good. The director requested the files of the 3 crucial patients. You know which ones. Good blah blah blah. Yeah, so some kind of a note. You know, of course, you collect notes that kind of help you get an idea of what you need to be doing, more or less. Even though, I don't know if they adapted the notes to be more of a hint system than they did in the original game. They don't do much of that in the original game. Nurses in training. Oh, foreshadowing. Bubblehead nurses. Hospital looks good. It's a lot more expanded. It's redesigned in a way. It doesn't have that weird room in the middle when you come in the original game. It has actually like offices and a desk and has signs on this. Like, I like that too, where you can look up and it has like, this is where this room is, or this is where the stairs are. I think that's actually pretty cool because it's realistic. When you're like in buildings like that, there are markers and signs that tell you where to go. And then here's Laura again.
Laura, wait.
It's okay. We don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, Maria there
God damn it.
in this scene. Oh, we don't want to hurt you. I guess that's how she would be like in the original, but
Now. Where is that girl?
now it's real dark. Okay, here's the bubblehead nurse, which doesn't see him for some reason. And then he's able to just run right by it. I find that part to be kind of odd. I do like that you could just avoid them. I mean, that is a plus, for sure. But, that interaction was odd. It was almost like it was like scripted in the game for it to not see you. Here's some combat. Him shooting. I think it looks fine. Now, the nurse here actually, like, kind of beats the crap out of this dude. It actually grabbed his weapon. And then just, like, whoever's playing this is just not doing a great job. You actually saw... Okay, whoa. After rewatching this, wow, those animations aren't that great. It actually showed him get almost locked into an animation when he knocked her down, like it would, like a takedown in a game. You know what I mean? Like when you're playing a game that has like takedowns in it, and you like walk up and press a button, and it kind of locks you into an animation. That's what it looked like he did to her, or he knocked her down. And you can also shoot them in the legs and make them kneel, like fall down to their knees, which is kind of cool. But the pistol sound still is kind of terrible. However, I watched the Sony State of Play trailer, which is very different than this trailer. Maybe I'll go over that in another video or something. But the State of Play trailer is very different. And there's a part where he's like in a diner or something shooting a monster, and the pistol actually sounds kind of good in that trailer. But in this scene, it sounds kind of bad. I don't really understand why that is. It still has that weird pea shooter kind of silenced sound. We'll go back a little bit and redo this scene here for us to watch. It just don't sound right. Okay, so he's just like beating the crap out of her. There's a little bit of a sidestep. She grabs the pipe. And then just... Okay, he's out of ammo. Right there, that's the animation lock. Okay, that's weird. That looks... Honestly, that whole sequence, it looks a little rough. Not horrible, but something about it is a little off to me. I really don't like the text on the screen. Maybe you can turn that off. I don't like the even having an ammo counter, personally, but yeah, overall the combat there just was a little janky. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was also kind of weird. I don't know. It was just very like sporadic, and when James gets hit, it's like, oh my god. Anyways, so in this part here, he finds a teddy bear with a bent needle, which I assume is for the puzzle where you have to like fish something out of a drain. And then he just randomly finds a shotgun, which I think is kind of funny. He's like, ooh, a teddy bear, and then, ooh, a shotgun. I think it's pretty cool. There you go. You get the shotgun just like that. That makes sense. There was a locker over there they didn't look at. I like how each room is populated in its own way. Man, he just bodied her. Ooh, I like that. That was cool. Oh, I didn't realize they did that weird head thing. The head jitter. I don't know if that was in the original game. Very strange. Okay. So as he's exploring the hospital, this looks really cool in my opinion. I like the environment a lot. I think the environment is pretty solid. Overall, I think that's probably my favorite thing about the trailer so far. James' hair still kind of blonde, kind of a little too blonde. And there's a bunch of bugs. Pretty cool. Nothing else much to say about that. I'll expand more upon my points at the end of the trailer. A lot of these rooms and stuff, though, aren't familiar to me. They definitely... Yeah, here. Oh, yeah, here's the drain. And I like that. Okay, we're going to go over that. I like this part here. I'm going to show you. So, when he interacts with the drain, right? I'm probably just not in the right... Anyways. We're gonna get through this. I'm having fun with this. I'm just kind of going off instinct with this. Anyways, I like that when he interacts with it, that there's an item menu for the puzzle. Because in the original game, it basically does the same thing. You click on a puzzle or something you interact with that it requires another item, it opens your menu. But at least in this way, you can still see what you're looking at and see the items that you would be using, or maybe are potentially available to use for a puzzle. I think that's totally fine. I don't have an issue with that personally. Because one of my complaints about the coin puzzle in the original game is that you have to like constantly go in and out of your inventory to get the coins and to take the coins out and then put them back in, and I can't stand that. So maybe we'll see this menu with most of the puzzles throughout the game where it's a lot easier to access them and interact with the puzzle at the same time. Maybe that's something they did. I actually think it's a welcome change, because going in and out of the menu for the coin puzzle I think is just kind of annoying. Personally, but yeah, so this would be where you fish. I forget what you fish out of here, a key or something. Looked like an ear. It's kind of weird looking. Wow, terrible shot. I like how the lying figure still has that thing where they crawl around on the ground and, you know, making all the right noises, all the right sound effects. Pretty good. That's not bad. James is a little stiff when he walks, which isn't that big a deal, but he's a little too straight up. He just, I don't know, a little too calm. It's kind of odd.
Laura, why do you keep running away from me? And how do you know about Mary?
Mary's my friend. We met at the hospital last year.
Stop lying. Laura, I'm sorry, I didn't mean...
Fine! Don't believe me! See if I care!
Hey!
Let go!
Sorry, Laura, but I can't let you just run around this place. You might get hurt.
Hurt by what?
Look, just stay with me, okay? This is no place for a kid.
Fine.
This interaction is pretty good, actually.
There's something I gotta get.
Laura,
It's important.
what is it?
A letter. For Mary.
What?
I hid it. In there.
It is weird how her mouth like didn't move at all when she said I hit it. She's like, I hit it. I hit it. It's really weird. I like that dialogue exchange though between them. It's not as like awkward as some of the dialogue in the original game,
This is where you left it?
which I actually like. I actually like the dialogue in the original game. I'm just saying,
Okay, wait here.
for this scenario, them talking to a child in a scary place, it made sense to me.
Open the door, Laura.
Why should I? I'm a liar, right? Want me to open it? Huh? Do ya?
Let me out of here, you little brat.
In your dreams, fart face.
Please open the door. There's something in here.
Sure there is. A big lying fart face. See ya, fart face!
Laura! Laura!
The fart face thing is kind of corny in my opinion, but I mean, they are a child, but still. And this is where this would be a boss battle in the original game. I don't remember what those things are called. Hanging corpse or something. something like that. Yeah, so that's the end of the trailer. And I guess I'll just kind of go over that a little bit more now. Yeah, I could probably do a better job on this video, but you kind of get what I'm doing here. You kind of understand what I'm saying. I'm just kind of breaking the trailer down, going over what I think are, you know, things that I think are totally fine about the trailer and things that I think some people have maybe blown out of proportion. But, you know, in the day and age we live in now, everybody blows everything out of proportion, and it's a constant struggle to get any conversations done or any sort of real, like, introspection on things, which it's fine. It's totally fine. Like, I understand there's a fine line between, like, you know, that's just your opinion, that makes sense, like that you see things in a certain way. But a lot of the dialogue around these games, like this nowadays, are very volatile and just like everybody's like just going freaking bonkers. I will say though, I think most people accepted this trailer a lot more than they accepted the combat trailer, because that was kind of a mess. So that is positive to see a lot of people really enjoying this, or even saying that they're even, you know, it's actually made them more excited for the remake than they were before. It's kind of given them a little bit more hope with the final release of the game, which releases October 8th, 2024, this year, October 8th, which I am very surprised. My theory was that it would be later this year than October or next year, because the combat trailer they showed, it concerned me with its quality. Now, while this game, I think, this trailer's presentation is just way better than the combat trailer. Like I said throughout the trailer, there's still some issues I have that I don't think necessarily will make the game completely unenjoyable. But at the same time, they are noticeable. And I want to clarify with me talking about people being upset about things in these trailers is like, I'm not I don't see that from their perspective, or I can't necessarily understand how to them they are attached to the game, the original game. Like, I don't know the significance of the original game to a lot of people. So it's easy to get sort of lost in the just the onslaught of complaints. And I try to be as understanding with people, and I do respect people's opinions, and I understand their perspective, but at the same time, I'm trying to open things up a little bit where things can be more of a discussion, and maybe all of us talking to each other about this that disagree on some of the aspects, either being a big deal or not a big deal or whatever. Maybe there's some middle ground that we can come to and understand, just that it's not going to make everybody happy, which nothing really does, I guess. But at the same time, we all want this game to be a good game, because I think we all love Silent Hill 2 for different reasons. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, a bit of a rant, sorry. But overall, I think the trailer was fine. It did have issues. I think one of my biggest issues with it is just some of the combat is still a little off to me. Now, combat being mostly avoidable in this game, I don't think it necessarily holds back the remake all that much. I just think that if you are going to do combat, though, that it needs to feel good in some way. The original game, it was very simple. You just kind of hit stuff or you shoot stuff. But they've added so much movement and animation in the combat in this game that it's a little jarring to look at. So it's a little intense, and I guess that's the point, making it, you know, modern and stuff. But with the new engine and everything, they're really going for the realism, I guess, of it. But still, it's still a bit janky. Anyways, I'll just kind of let this keep playing as I talk more about, because I recorded the whole transmission. But yeah, as you can see there, October 8th. My point of this video was to hopefully discuss it in a way where you can see where I'm coming from, and maybe if you disagree with me, that maybe in some way you can still see what I'm trying to say about my perspective. But and I very much, like I said, encourage everyone to share their perspective with me as well. I feel like I've just been kind of ranting and not really saying much in this video. Maybe I'm wrong, but overall, I think the trailer was fine. Like I said, 5 times now. But anyways, positives, I would say the environment looks really good. I think the town looks interesting. I think it looks like it entices me to want to explore it. I want to look around the town and look at if there's any secrets or anything like that. Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot. I forgot about this part. I forgot. I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna talk about the additions and the pre-order crap and all that stuff in a second. But I think they did a much better job with this trailer. It's very enticing to want to explore the town. I think the combat still looks off. I think the characters that were shown, Laura and Maria, I think their models look pretty decent. I think they're well crafted. I don't like Maria's change of wardrobe. I find it completely unnecessary. They made Laura a child that doesn't look super uncanny in some video games. People just can't make childlike characters for some reason. They always look like really creepy and weird. I don't know. So Laura just looks like a regular kid. Their voice actor, I think, did a pretty good job for a child. I don't know how old the voice actor actually is, but because we live in a world now where a lot of people will voice really young characters when they're not really young, and it kind of comes off kind of weird, where you're like, it's just odd. But I think the way her performance was, I think, and everything, and the way she spoke to James and their dialogue exchange, I think worked pretty well. I think just yelling fart face at him was kind of weird. It just felt really corny to me. Not that big a deal, but just saying. And other than that, they didn't really show much else. They didn't show Pyramid Head again. They didn't show many other key environments, which I'm glad. I think they need to hold a lot of that close and not show off too much in these trailers. But at least we got some gameplay. Also liked the fact that when you pick up items, you actually like physically pick them up and look at them. I think that's really cool. I don't like white text on the screen just saying like rotate item and like you collected a syringe or whatever. Also, that's another thing different about the items. It showed health drinks and it showed syringes. And syringes may look like maybe some kind of quick heal kind of item, which just also seems completely unnecessary. That's just my opinion, but yeah. I think that's mostly everything in the trailer that I will talk about. I liked that they changed some things, maybe for the better, like the item menu. And also, I think the sound effects, I think, were pretty solid. And the music was really good. Of course, Akira Yamaoka, the music is great. Everything sounds great. Everything looks pretty good. Some of the character models, I think, are, I would say, fairly well done. I don't like, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I don't really have much else to say about the trailer, I don't think, that I can think of. I am looking forward to seeing more set pieces like the, puzzles and everything that, we're all familiar with in the original game. It showed the clock puzzle and everything like that. So I hope they stay true to a lot of those things and don't deviate too much from the point. Now, I think what's the most important part of this game that we won't really know, I think, until we play it, is how they keep the story intact as it was originally, especially with the different characters like Eddie and Angela and Maria. We'll have to see if they keep that the way it should. I think that'll be what makes or breaks this game, is just keeping how well they kept the story intact. And if they, for some reason, decided to make some creative choices in the story, I think it will be a huge mistake. Like, the story should be probably the most unchanged thing in the game, in my opinion. Everything else is gameplay. So, gameplay is king, but Silent Hill 2 is nothing without its story. It's not. If you took the story out of Silent Hill 2, there's nothing happening. There's no rhyme or reason or anything to do in the game, in my opinion. So that's just what we'll have to wait and see when the game comes out and we play it for ourselves. Now we're going to talk about the merchandise and all this crap here very quickly, and then I'll end the video. So as you see, and a lot of this stuff is in Japanese, and there are subtitles that I have up here, but I don't care this much about all this crap here. Not to be too negative, but so it looks like with like pre-order or something here that you get these masks that James will wear in the game, I guess. And I think these, to be frank, are really dumb. These are stupid. These are really dumb. I don't like it at all. It would have been cooler if his jacket actually had all the logos and stuff on it like it does in the original game. But instead we got these big dumb masks. That's pretty cool. And next, we also have a deluxe edition of the game. Wow. Look, he's wearing a pyramid head thing made out of cardboard, I think. I just think it's really dumb. This is the deluxe edition. You also get a digital art book and a digital soundtrack, which I hate. For this reason. I actually think it'd be really cool, a deluxe edition, if they were physical items. If it was a physical art book and a physical soundtrack, I'd have no problem with that. That'd be really cool. I would actually want to get those. But I don't want digital stuff. I can just go online and listen to the soundtrack right now. Like, anyways, I just don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think it's a pretty lame deluxe edition, personally. I think the art book would actually be really cool to have if it was a real physical book. Like, see, they had to watermark it, of course, like really bad. That looks great. I like that. The art looks awesome. That's one of my favorite things about Silent Hill 2 is the art. So, unfortunately, it's digital. Excuse me. Of course, the soundtrack, you know, we all know the soundtrack. Whoa, okay, hold on. Yeah, and this is some other edition or something. I don't know. It's kind of confusing the way they structured it. There are easy things you can look at. Look it up real quick online that shows you all the different tiers or whatever. And I'm not pre-ordering this game personally. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to probably get it on Steam. Obviously, I don't have any of the new consoles, but I'll get it on Steam. I'm not pre-ordering it. I'm not getting a deluxe edition or anything. I'm getting the standard edition. That's what I'm buying. Now, you can buy whatever you want or pre-order whatever you want. I'm not going to judge you for it. I don't encourage that you do that, but that's just my perspective. I don't like any of this. Oh yeah, also at the bottom where it says 48, I guess the Super Deluxe, whatever the biggest edition is, or whatever, you get 48 hours early access to a single-player game. I don't like that either. Now, I was trying to be as positive as I could in this video about the trailer and everything, but my perspective on microtransactions and pre-order bonuses and everything are completely different from my way of approaching games, just the game itself and everything that I've been talking about. I've never really been a fan of any of these things. They used to actually be pretty cool pre-order bonuses back in the day, like, you know, Master Chief's helmet and really cool stuff like that, statues. Like the Elden Ring DLC pre-order thing has some really cool physical items that I think are really awesome. That's how you do it right. All this digital stuff, like in-game stuff and playing 2 days early, I don't like it all as a business model. I think it's, I mean, this is Konami we're talking about, but I think it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of pointless. I know they're trying to like fish money out of people, and that's why it bothers me, I think. Like the very fact that you could play 2 days early, if you fish up a little bit more money, like, hey, pay me more money, I'll let you play 2 days early. I don't like that. Not a fan of that. I wish they would have done something different. They could have really knocked it out of the park with some really cool bonuses for this game. But what do I know? I'm not Konami. Thank God. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, Robbie the Rabbit mask, even though I don't think Robbie the Rabbit has anything to do with Silent Hill 2, it's just kind of out of nowhere. It's in Silent Hill 3, but I could be wrong about that. A 48-hour early access period. Well, you know, a lot of them other creators are going to be on top of that. I'm going to play it early. Pre-order bonuses and contents. Yeah, if you'd like to really immerse yourself in the world of Silent Hill 2 and start playing as soon as possible, we suggest you pre-order the deluxe edition. No. Yeah, of course, you know, they're accepting pre-orders now, like 4 months from now or whatever. Yeah, and then Bloober Team talks about some things, and I actually like some of the things they were talking about in their little blog here, talking about their design philosophy and just their overall approach to the game. I think is totally fine, and you can go back and watch the transmission, I'm pretty sure, and you can listen to what they're saying and what their perspectives on the game is. I think a lot of what they said I like. I think their approach to the game, I believe they had good intentions. But as you'll see with some of what they say, is like how to make the game more approachable for newcomers who have not played the original. I don't think you have to do that. I really don't. Now, like on a business model, you want as many people playing your game as possible. It's a off-putting kind of thing to say, to be like, we don't want to make this for newcomers. Like, no, just make the game the way it is and let people play it. I've never really understood that perspective of a game where you make it for newcomers to the franchise. I don't know. You all got to start somewhere on a game. People should start with the game as it was intended and why people originally liked it, not make it to where new people will like something they've never played before. It sounds contradicting to me. That's just my perspective on that. Anyways, they talk about, you know, trying to make things without the static cameras was really difficult. So, of course, there's, you know, having it in a third-person perspective was very challenging for them to make it. But at the same time, there aren't a ton of static cameras in the original game. There are static cameras, but not a shitload. I don't know. I guess it didn't really matter, but yeah, they're talking about how they made the fog, and they're trying to preserve the atmosphere of the game and the tone of the game. And like I said, I think the fog and everything looks very solid. I think I have no problem with that. So, yeah. They go on about, like, okay, here we go. Here we go. This is Angela. So they don't even show Angela in the trailer. They show Angela when Bloober Team is talking about the game. And I think she looks okay. She's actually quite young in the game. I believe she's 19 in the game. There are other clips of people showing screenshots of Angela from the State of Play trailer. And there are some captures in that trailer where she does not look that great. She looks kind of like heavy set in the face for some reason. But then in other scenes, she looks totally fine. I don't understand what's wrong with her model in some of those scenes, in my opinion. It's kind of odd. But right here, I think she looks normal. She looks like a person, just a normal woman. So this is the famous scene in the room with the mirror, and she's holding the knife. Anyways, I thought I'd touch on that. I think she looks good. I don't have any problem with her. She's wearing her sweater and all that. Her story is going to be the one to really look at and how they preserve it and do it correctly. That's yeah. So yeah, anyways, like I said, they, you know, Bloober Team just kind of talks about their design philosophy and everything. And they just kind of keep going through that for a while. I think they did a fairly good job presenting their perspective on their creative decisions and everything. And even there's rain there. Didn't notice that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, they show, you know, some different clips here and there of the game that I think are in the State of Play trailer and not in the one we just watched. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't have an issue or any vendetta towards Bloober Team. I never played either games. I understand there's a lot of other people who would have an issue with them, but that's not what I'm talking about today. Yeah, I think the next thing he talks about is... what is it? Oh, the voice actors and everything. Yeah, they talk about, you know, respecting the role that they're playing. Golly, yeah, you see that lady's name? That's a crazy name. I think she's like maybe Swedish or something, or Icelandic, or yeah, Gunnarsdottir. I think that's like a Finnish or Swedish name or something like that. Very cool. Very cool. She plays Maria and Mary. This guy plays James. And they're talking about respecting the original and everything, which I'll give him credit for a lot of people reinstating that that's what needs to be done. I really want to wait to play the game to have like a true opinion on if all of this is respectful or not to the original game. It's hard to just judge everything by trailers like everybody does now. That's why my approach to this video was just to try to talk about what's in the trailer specifically and not be like, well, the game is gonna suck because of this or whatever. It's like, we haven't played the game yet, so let's just what the scene they're showing here is like when she's in the elevator. Oh yeah, look at Maria right there. I won't spoil anything, but there's an elevator scene where Maria's trying to get out. Yeah, like, look at Maria here. She looks good. She's pretty, as she should be. She's supposed to be, you know, the embodiment of all that other crap. You know, we've all said it a million times. You know what I'm saying? She's like his wife's doppelganger, but in a very exaggerated way. She's an exaggerated, very pretty woman for a reason. And I think they make her model looks good. Her hair looks good. She's got like a tattoo on her chest. I didn't notice that until now. Her outfit's a little strange still, like I said. An odd choice. I don't know why you would change that. Ah, well. I think Maria looks pretty solid there, though. Pretty good. I'm going to talk about the tone of the game, which is very important. A lot of these things will make more sense to us when we play the game. I really do believe that. And I know I'm not playing any sound with this. It's just kind of hard to do it while I'm talking, so I wasn't, you know. Very cool. You can go, I'll link all this stuff so you can go check it out for yourself. That looked like the puzzle in the hospital where you like put rings on the finger and it like opens the door. Yeah, and then they talk about like, oh, performance capture. Who cares? And then they talk about the movie, which I'm not going to really go over all that much. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the movie, actually. I like Christoph Gans. I think he did a good job with the first movie. It's not a perfect movie in any means, but it's, I think, a pretty solid video game adaptation. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to Return to Silent Hill. And he also talks about all kinds of things related to his passion and his perspective on making a movie based off the game, and just sort of his inspirations, and how you and the cast and crew that are working on the movie are also very big fans of the franchise and have helped him make the movie in a lot of ways, which I think is a solid thing to admit. I think that's very cool that he allowed so many people to influence his work, and I think that's a good idea. I think I respect that a lot for him. Yeah, they show a lot of behind the scenes throughout this. It's very cool. Obviously, it's hard to tell how it will translate to screen and, you know, what it will look like. It's funny that they're using original clips from the original game, too. That's kind of funny to me. Anyways, yeah, oh yeah, Kira Yamaoka is also helping on the film as well. I think that's awesome. And then they go over like a whole bunch of merchandise, like coins, which I think is actually pretty cool. And then you got the Purple Bull key card, which is a puzzle thing. And then you have James' jacket. It's like $120 or something. And it's weird that the jacket looks like this, but he doesn't have any of these patches on in the game. Really weird. And I like the key art shadow box a lot. It's like $150. Of course it is. And then they like randomly plug Silent Hill's short message, and they're like, "Oh, go play it on PlayStation. It's still there." Kind of a weird plug. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's played it and been done with it. They have some figurine from the short message game. I haven't played the short message because it's only on PlayStation. If they were to announce that you can go play it on PC, I would be like, "Oh, sweet! I'll go play it. I'll go try it for myself." But nah, we gotta have console exclusivity for no reason. So They talk about the soundtrack that you can get. It has 80 songs. I was like, good God, 80 songs. Whoa, what's going on there? A weird glitch. So yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much the whole transmission. Sorry if my video was just kind of all over the place. I like to just kind of jump into these and go off memory and everything, and maybe I can structure that a little bit better. I want it to feel like a discussion, like just a, you know, natural sort of discussion, even though I kind of just ramble and don't make sense. Anyways, I had fun doing this, but like I said several times, my point of this is just to have some fun and have an open discussion with everyone and see what everyone's point of view is on this and what their thoughts are on the trailer and the transmission and just their overall expectations for the new game, if it's changed at all for the remake. Is your perspective changed for the remake in a good way or a negative way? Yeah, feel free to tell me whatever you're thinking. Just try to be respectful to each other in the comments. Don't argue or insult each other for having different points of views. I don't tolerate that on my channel. But anyways, overall, I think we'll be just fine with this remake. I don't see us ever really getting ports of the original games or any sort of new collection. And I could be wrong, but it's an unfortunate thing. Like, you know, of course, with the state of play, there's still no news of any Bloodborne port or sequel or remaster or anything. And I think after a while, you just kind of have to stop thinking about it. And maybe one day it'll happen, but I think for right now, Konami is really pushing their new stuff. So they're going to push out their remake of Silent Hill 2, and then they're going to start going off with Townfall and whatever the other one was. They're going to like continue on with the new stuff. I would like them to do some sort of a collection or PC ports that aren't broken kind of thing, but as everyone says, they lost the source codes, so those just don't exist anymore, which is insane to me. But yeah, I hope my points are easy to understand and that you see where I'm coming from. And if you want to just ask me any questions about anything or clarify anything of what I said, yeah, feel free to do that. I want to have a discussion about this and just talk about just what to expect and what we think about it. I think it's a cool thing, and the trailer's fine. I don't think I have anything else to add to it without rambling and rambling and rambling. And I guess to recap the pre-order bonuses and everything, I didn't like any of that stuff. I thought it was all bad. I think it's all pointless. Just this is my opinion on it. If it had physical art books and physical soundtracks, I'd be all for it. But I don't like any of the digital stuff. I don't like the masks. I don't like being able to play 2 days early. I don't think any of that is indicative of good faith. I think it's just to like kind of squeeze a little bit extra money out of people. Personally, I've never been a fan of microtransactions or anything like that. So that's just my point of view on that. Looking forward to the movie. I think the movie will be great. And I wish Bloober Team the best of luck with the game's launch. I liked that they did a little bit of a segment of them talking about their perspectives and their design philosophy. I respect that a lot. And yeah, we'll just have to see what happens when the game comes out. And like I said, tell me what you think in the comments below. I want to hear all your thoughts, negative, positive, what you have to say about the game. And if you agree or disagree with anything I said, please have a discussion with me. Ask me a question if you want. Yeah. Just go do that. I'd appreciate that. If you enjoy my content, hit subscribe, like, comment, share. I don't usually do videos like this, but every once in a while I will. And I've been trying to do this with games like Silent Hill and stuff that I really enjoy. Maybe I'll do more, of course, in the future. I never did a follow-up to Silent Hill Ascension because, yeah, I couldn't stand Silent Hill Ascension. I made a video on that a while back, but anyways, maybe if we get more updates on Silent Hill games, you'll see updates from me about that. I'll break down trailers, I'll talk about them, and of course, I'll try to maybe do it a little bit better next time. But like I said, I like to just kind of get on here and just kind of talk, and yeah, it's pretty fun. I think it's been pretty cool doing this. So yeah, join the Pale Moth Society, hit subscribe, hang out with us here at Ubu Games. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. So, thanks for hanging out with me, and don't forget, the Pale Moth is always watching.